The shadows hide my face, but they cannot hide the truth anymore. I am standing in front of this microphone to confess something terrible. You think you know the people around you, your neighbors, your friends, your family. You believe they are safe, but everyone carries a dark secret, a monster hidden behind a polite smile. I used to be just like you, living a quiet life, pretending to be perfect, until the night everything changed. What I am about to tell you is not a story. It is a confession of an unforgivable human mistake, a crime that has been buried in the dark, waiting for someone to drag it out into the light. Let us start with the double life exposed before the world, my life, to everyone in this city. I was Arthur Vance, a successful financial analyst, a loving husband, a man who volunteered at the local shelter every weekend. They saw the expensive cars, the beautiful house in the suburbs, the warm smiles at dinner parties. My life was a perfect blueprint of the American dream. But a perfect life requires a perfect lie. Nobody knew about the hidden basement, the locked safe, or the files containing the darkest secrets of the people who trusted me. I watched everyone, collected their weaknesses, and used them. I was a ghost, living in plain sight, wearing a mask that never slipped until she arrived. She was a new intern at my firm, Clara. She had bright eyes, too smart for her own good, and she asked too many questions. Psychological thriller stories always begin with someone looking where they should not. Clara found a discrepancy in the offshore accounts, a trail of missing funds that led straight to my private safe. One evening, when the office was completely empty, she confronted me. She did not look afraid. She looked determined. She showed me a digital file on her tablet, a complete map of my financial crimes. My heart did not race. My mind became perfectly calm. I realized my perfect mask was about to break, and I had to stop her before she destroyed everything. I offered her a deal, money, a promotion, a share of the power. Unforgivable human mistakes are born from desperation. Clara rejected it instantly, her eyes filled with disgust. She turned around to leave, threatening to go straight to the federal prosecutors. I could not let her walk out of that door. I moved without thinking, blocking her path, grabbing her arm. The argument escalated into a physical struggle, a desperate scramble in the dark office. Her tablet fell to the floor, shattering the glass screen. She screamed, a sharp, terrifying sound that echoed through the empty corridors. In that moment of pure panic, I made a choice that changed me from a liar into something far worse, a monster trying to survive. I looked down at my hands. They were shaking. I noticed the sociopath traits in real life begin to manifest when the pulse slows down, not when it races. I did not feel pity. I felt an intense, calculated need for self-preservation. My mind became a cold machine, processing variables, planning the cleanup. She was not a person anymore. She was an obstacle that needed to be erased from existence. I checked her pulse. Nothing. The silence in the office was suffocating, heavy with the scent of rain and cheap perfume. I had to move her body, hide the evidence, and construct an alibi that no detective could ever tear apart. Before the morning sun exposed my dark deeds, the next day, I was back at the shelter, serving food, smiling at families. I listened to a Guilt and Redemption podcast on my drive there and trying to find meaning in what I had done. The host spoke about forgiveness, about how human souls can heal after a tragedy. It made me laugh inside, a silent, bitter laughter. There was no healing for me, and I did not want it. I used my charity work as a shield, a beautiful layer of protection to deflect any suspicion. When the police eventually called to ask about the missing intern, I sounded devastated, my voice cracking with perfect, rehearsed sorrow. The world saw a grieving mentor, while the monster remained safely hidden underneath. 3 weeks passed. The investigation went cold. just as I planned. I thought I was safe, until I came home last Tuesday. Resting on my kitchen counter was a plain, unmarked black envelope. My heart stopped. Inside was a single printed sheet of paper, showing a crystal clear photo of me dragging Clara's body into my car trunk. The text underneath read, "I know your anonymous confession's dark secrets, and you are going to pay." The room spun around me. It was not a random blackmailer. This person knew my exact routine, my home security codes, my soul. Someone had been watching me from the very shadows I used to hide my own sins, and now they owned me. My phone buzzed. A private number. I answered, teeth clenched. A distorted voice came through the speaker, cold and mechanical. It did not ask for money. It asked for an action. The voice told me to delete a specific file from my firm's server, a file belonging to a city councilman. This was not about blackmail. It was about manipulation. Psychological thriller stories always involve a puppet master pulling strings from the shadows. If I refused, the photo would be sent to every news outlet in America within 5 minutes. I had no choices left, only consequences. I opened my laptop, my fingers flying across the keys, doing exactly what the voice commanded, becoming a slave to my own hidden nightmare. The demands did not stop. They increased every single week. I was forced to destroy reputations, ruin careers, alter financial records. I committed unforgivable human mistakes over and over just to protect my clean name. The anonymous caller owned my life, turning me into a weapon against the city's elite. I felt like a rat inside a maze, running desperately while someone watched from above, laughing at my struggle. Every night, I stared at the ceiling, wondering who was holding the leash. Was it a coworker, a rival, or someone closer? The pressure was destroying my sanity, eroding my focus. I was losing control, and in my world, losing control means death. I needed a plan to strike back. I am a predator, not a victim. I began to display my true sociopath traits in real life by turning the tables on my tormentor. I bought a hidden signal tracer, connecting it to my smartphone to track the next call. I spent nights studying digital encryption, tracing routing nodes, learning the patterns of the dark web. The next time the phone buzzed, I did not plead. I kept them talking for 42 seconds, long enough for the tracer to lock onto a physical address. The signal led to a rundown apartment building on the east side of town, room 404. The hunter was finally tracking the prey. I grabbed a heavy iron tool from my garage, checked my jacket pocket, and drove out into the stormy night, ready to reclaim my stolen freedom. The rain slammed against my windshield like bullets. As I drove, paranoia crept into my chest, freezing my breath. Every car behind me looked like an unmarked police vehicle. Every shadow looked like an ambush. Double life exposed? That thought looped endlessly in my head like a broken record. Was this a trap? Was room 404 where they would finally arrest me? Or where they would end my life? My hands gripped the steering wheel until they went completely numb. The city looked alien through the rain. A distorted landscape of neon lights and dark concrete. I was a man standing on the edge of a razor blade, knowing that one wrong move would plunge me down into the abyss. I stood in front of the door. Room 404. I could hear a faint sound from inside, the low murmur of a guilt and redemption podcast playing on a loop. It was my favorite episode, the one about how sinners must face the fire to find peace. The irony made my skin crawl. I grasped the metal door handle. It turned, easily unlocked. I pushed it open slowly, the rusty hinges letting out a soft whine. The room was dark, smelling of old paper and copper. In the center sat a single wooden chair, facing away from me. A figure was sitting there, perfectly still, holding a phone in their hand. My muscles coiled, ready to strike, ready to kill the person who ruined my life. "I have been waiting for you, Arthur," the figure said. The voice did not come from the phone, it came from the chair. It was a woman's voice, Smooth, confident, terrifyingly familiar. I stepped around the chair, my iron tool raised, ready to swing. I expected a rival, a blackmailer, a black hat hacker. Psychological thriller stories always prepare you for an enemy, but they never prepare you for a ghost. Sitting in that chair, looking up at me with a cold, triumphant smile, was Clara. My mind fractured into 1,000 pieces. She was breathing, her eyes alive, her skin warm under the moonlight. She was not dead. She was never dead. And the trap was finally springing closed around me. "You think you killed me, didn't you?" Clara whispered, taking a step forward. "I knew your sociopath traits in real life because I studied you for a year before joining your firm." She laughed, a cold, echoing sound. "The body you dragged into your car, the blood you cleaned up, it was all theater. Specialized props, synthetic blood, and a powerful paralytic drug that made me appear dead for exactly 2 hours. The room felt like it was running out of oxygen. Every file you deleted, every career you ruined over the past 3 weeks, you did it for me. You dismantled your own corporate empire, thinking you were protecting a secret. You were never the puppet master, Arthur. You were always my weapon." I stood there, paralyzed, my empire crushed by my own hands. But the double life exposed was not mine. It was her ultimate masterpiece. She did not want to destroy me. She wanted to replace me. "Why?" I managed to choke out, my voice sounding like gravel. Clara stepped closer, her eyes dark like obsidian. "Because your anonymous confessions' dark secrets were never yours alone," she whispered. 10 years ago, you ruined a small family business, causing a man to take his own life to protect his daughter. I am that daughter. Arthur, I did not come to bring you to justice. I came to take everything you stole from my father and make you watch me wear your crown." She opened the door behind her, revealing 2 men in dark suits, federal agents. "Mr. Vance, you are under arrest for corporate espionage, extortion, and the suspected murder of Clara Lynn," one agent said. I looked at Clara. She was standing behind them, pretending to weep, her body shaking with fake, terrifying terror. Unforgivable human mistakes had brought me to this exact cage, but she had built the bars. I had no evidence to prove her deception, no files left to protect my name. I had deleted my own salvation. As the cold steel handcuffs snapped onto my wrists, I realized the ultimate truth of this psychological thriller stories: the most dangerous monster is never the one hiding in the dark. It is the one standing right in front of you, wearing a badge of innocence. So here I am, inside this cell, talking to you through this illegal microphone. Guilt and Redemption podcast listeners, now you know the complete truth behind my disappearance. I am not asking for your sympathy. I am a criminal. I deserve this cold stone floor. But remember this: Clara is out there right now, running Vance Financial, sitting in my old office, smiling at dinner parties. Volunteering at the shelter, she has the perfect mask now, a mask built from my own ruined bones. The next time you look at a successful, perfect person in your life, do not just look at their smile. Look deeper into their shadows, because you never know who is truly pulling the strings in your world. The recording is ended, but my work is not finished. Every night, I hear the echoes of the city outside these concrete walls. Double life exposed. It is a virus that infects every corner of this society. Clara thinks she won. She thinks she is safe behind her glass walls and expensive lawyers. But she forgot one major detail. A true predator never reveals all their cards, even when they are trapped inside a cage. I have another safe, another folder, another set of anonymous confessions, dark secrets that she knows nothing about. The game is not over. It has simply moved to a different chessboard, and I am about to make my next move from the dark. The email was just the first phase, a psychological thriller story's warning shot. I have friends on the outside, desperate people who owe me their lives, people whose unforgivable human mistakes I covered up for years. Now, it is time for them to collect my debt. They are moving through the city right now, accessing the backup servers, preparing the final release. Clara thinks she owns my crown, but she is just sitting on a throne of gasoline, and I hold the match. Every record, every transaction, every dark detail of her own elaborate theater will be sent to the Attorney General by morning. She built a perfect trap for me, but she forgot that a maze always has two exits, and I am about to blow the walls open. This is the end of my broadcast, my final anonymous confessions, dark secrets. The truth is out, the wheels are turning, and justice is coming like a freight train in the dark. Clara and I are both monsters, born from the same tragic past, bound to destroy each other until nothing remains. But what about you? The person listening to this voice right now, are you sure your life is safe? Are you sure your mask is tight enough? Look around your room, check your locks. Think about your own unforgivable human mistakes, because someone might be watching you right now, collecting your weaknesses, waiting for the perfect night to reveal your double life exposed. Good night.